How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Blue Shifting, and welcome, I guess this might be your first time here, welcome to the Blue Shifting itself, and welcome to Riddle Joker. Alright, so this has been an interesting one. It's been on my docket for a while. Thank you so much. I've got to give a big shout out, of course, to Neko Nyan and Yuzusoft, sorry, the companies. Yuzusoft is the one who originally made this and published it in Japan, and then Neko Nyan, I didn't want to mess it up. Neko Nyan were the ones who reached out to me and offered to let me cover this on my channel. This was a while ago, though, so just keep in mind, I've reached out to them again just to make sure that it'll be okay for me to cover this on the channel in the way that I do, but just to keep in mind, just so you know what you're getting into, I typically do a full playthrough, but only one. There's multiple routes in this game, and we're not going through all of them. We'll go through one. Whatever the first one that I go down is, we'll play it through to the end, and then I'll probably play down the other routes on my own, and I'll talk about them in like a kind of like a final wrap review at the end during the wrap party, which is kind of like the capstone of this entire playthrough. But just keep that in mind. If you're looking for like a full 100% playthrough, this is not the place to be. I think it's important that I leave something behind for you to explore on your own, because if you haven't played this game and you're curious about it, I'm hoping that this playthrough will help you decide if you want to buy it and experience the entire story yourself. But I just want to make sure that you kind of put that on the table, keep that in mind. There are exceptions that have been made with games like Steins Gate, where the story just is not really like truly digestible without hitting a specific ending. But even then, like, despite the fact that all the endings were important to the game, I only showed my natural ending and then the true ending. So as we go through this game, if that's the case, I'll find that out. But this is going to be very interesting. I don't know a whole lot about this, except for it has to do a lot with like it's a romantic comedy. It has to do with like magical powers or like superpowers or something. I think it's just a nice department for what we've done. We had a little bit of a poll for the patrons, and it was between this and another game, Myth. But the thing is, like, currently on Mondays, we're going through Muv-Luv, and it's in Muv-Luv Dark Timeline. We're going on Wednesdays, we're covering Fata Morgana, and that's a dark timeline. So I figured it's about time we do something a bit more uplifting. So we're jumping into that, and maybe Myth will come back to another time. But anyway, I wanted to give a big shout out again. Thank you so much for those who are supporting me. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. And if this is something you're interested in, I hope you stick around. Anyway, that's enough fluffing. Just wanted to make sure to get it out there. Links in the description if you want to like find this game, if you want to buy it for yourself. If you want links just to the developer page in general. Also, there's a Discord group where I'm going to be posting like a little chat room if you want to be able to talk about stuff, and even spoilers with like other people who know about the game, so I don't end up seeing it. Again, please keep spoilers away. Like, this is a first time playthrough for me. I don't know anything going in. I want you guys to get my natural experience, and so we're going to avoid any spoilers if we can. So sit back, relax, grab a snack if you feel like it. Let's jump into Riddle Joker. It's currently sometime in late August. Summer break is winding down, but the oppressive summer heat doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Oh man, that's the opposite of right now. Winter won't leave us alone. It's so awful. It gets above 95 some days, and what's worse, it isn't much better than at night. Today happens to be one of them. I'm almost dying out here. Yeah, this sigh. It's too darn hot. Can't focus.
Levy 6?
Levy 6?
Levy 6. Satoru-kun.
Please stick by my code name, Levy 9. Calling me by my real name out here on the job just feels weird.
ちゃんと聞こえてるくせに、なんで無視するかな?
Shh, I don't know what you're talking about. Nah, I wasn't ignoring you. This heat's just doing things to my head. God, I'm burning up. I grab my collar and start fanning myself. But unfortunately, fanning in this humid air does nothing to cool me off. That's the killer of humidity. If only I wasn't in long sleeves and wearing gloves right now. This is just torture.
仕事中は仕方ないよ。ちゃんと着てないと。
Sure, but why can't we get a summer outfit or something? I don't think that's too much to ask for.
予算がないっていっつも嘆いてるからね。
Man, I mean, sure, but that's no excuse to subject us to this crap. How are you even managing?
平気じゃないです。中はムレムレです。私だって早く冷房の効いた部屋に戻りたい。
See, you're complaining too. It just took a little negotiation.
ほんと蒸れて気持ち悪い。 早く汗拭かないと体かゆくなっちゃいそう。
Oh man. Levy 9 groans and wriggles in discomfort. Her outfit is a long sleeve one just like mine and also company issued. Though I think she's tinkering with her some and made some personal adjustments.
でも、これぐらいは我慢。せっかく可愛く直したんだから。
Well, I agree the outfit looks nice. Man, I wish I could sew. You could just make whatever outfit you want. Me too, man. I look at cosplayers and I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that.
作れるってほどではないけど、なんで？
Could you maybe make my outfit short sleeved, pretty please?
それぐらいならできないことはないけど、冬場も半袖で過ごすの？
So it's either I'm dying in the summer or I'm dying in the winter. Well, can't you just like re-sew the sleeves back on or something? I'll just get one of those zipper sleeves, you know, like they had the zipper pants for a while. I'm sure zipper sleeves could be brought in.
めんどくさいな。それならいっそ袖にファスナーをつけて着脱式にしてしまうとか。
It looked horrific, but it's functional. Oh, I like that idea.
でもそうなると、この服の機能はちゃんと維持できるのかな
？So, I don't know what we're supposed to be doing, but we're nice and chill, so probably nothing too crazy. Right, I didn't think of that. Our uniforms both have special functions. That's the main point behind us wearing them. Changes to the design are allowed to a certain extent, but it's safe to say that anything that messed with the uniform's function wouldn't be permitted. It's a real dilemma. We might not actually be able to remove cloth and still keep the function intact. So, Levy 9.
何？レビー6。
Still nothing?
ダメだね。全然ダメだね。
Zen. I like that. She lets out a small sigh as she stares at the tablet in her hands. On the screen is a video of a road. Countless cars are flying past in each direction. We're searching for a particular vehicle using the N system, but yeah, no hits yet. You sure you got the right number?
間違ってないよ。少なくとも私は。ただ、該当のナンバーは外から回ってきた情報だから。
And they barely gave us anything else to work off of.
もともとうちの管轄じゃなくて、早期解決のための応援要員なんだって。
Yeah, they're usually too worried about appearances to send us in. Wonder why they chose us this time. That'd be we're kind of like the dumpster squad, you guys are technically skilled enough, but you just stay over there.
調べていくうちに今回の犯人と海外の大規模犯罪組織とつながりが見えてきたらしいんだよね。
Lovely. So I guess we're dealing with Astrals then, huh?
本命はそっち。つながりが切られる前に尻尾を掴みたいんだと思う。
That makes sense. We obviously don't have the manpower to take an international crime syndicate, but thankfully that's not our job. All we have to do is capture the perpetrator here, which is all fine and dandy, except for one little problem. I'm about to die in this hellish inferno. I'm about to sigh in exasperation when Nanami suddenly speaks up.
見つけた。対象は白身通りを南下中。
Oh, finally. Alright, let's get in position. I have to say, so there's been a little bar in the bottom corner I've never seen before where it's like telling you how long the audio track is, which is really interesting to me. I kind of like it because for somebody who only understands bits and pieces of Japanese, it'll help me avoid, hopefully, if I pay attention, not clicking ahead too quickly and skipping over a line on accident, which is something I definitely do. Alright, we migrate to the area where the mini truck, the target vehicle, is parked and hide behind cover. There are two guys who look to be in their early to mid-20s. They both hop out of the truck and begin walking toward the scooter parked on the side of the road. Man, now that I get a better look at them, they really are young. Probably not much older than me, to be honest. They're discussing something amongst themselves. Luckily, there seem to be no indications that they've noticed us. A few seconds later, the conversation stops. One of them gets on the bed of the truck while the other gets the scooter. Unfortunately, the scooter has a U-lock on it. They won't be able to move it without the key. But strangely enough, the scooter moves, and even stranger, it levitates. It floats higher and higher into the air, unconstrained by gravity. I don't sound as surprised by this, though. That man isn't even touching it. He's controlling it remotely, by the looks of it. Which can only mean one thing.
間違いないね。
Oh boy. Yep. The scooter moves via that invisible force, and eventually it lies down the bed of the truck. The other guy then locks it down.
マクレガーより伝令。対象の追跡に任務を変更。
So McGregor, whoever that is obviously watching. Copy that.
今日も楽勝だったな。
お前、言うほど何もしてないだろ。
はあ？運転したじゃん。荷台で固定したじゃん。そんな目で見るなよ。しょうがないだろう。俺はアストラル使いじゃねえんだからよ。
まあ、役割分担はいいんだけどな。にしても、やっぱ3台は疲れるわ。
Oh, you got cosmic powers that allow you to defy gravity and move objects around? Yeah, petty theft of scooters. Great way to use your powers, man. But I guess it's probably pretty easy money.
アストラル能力って使うと疲れるもんなのか？
原付っつっても100キロ近くあるんだぞ。それを一人で持ち上げるってなったら、そりゃ疲れるだろう。
けど、直接持ち上げてるわけじゃないだろ？
Oh, I mean,
超能力みたいなもんなんだから。
it might not be his physical muscles, but I'm sure psychic muscles, brain power, I don't know. I guess this is good though, because we're learning the rules of this system.
まあ、体が疲れるわけじゃないけどな。なんつうか、頭がだるい。
頭がだるい？
能力のコントロールって、どれだけ慣れてても集中力がいるんだよ。俺の場合、目標に意識を集中させて、それを動かす間ずっと維持しないといけないからな。
俺は難しいこと考えっと頭が痛くなるけどな。とにかくお疲れさん。水でも飲むか？
サンキュー。で、どうだ？いくらぐらいになると思う？
そうだな。このパーツの組み合わせなら全部で15万ってとこか。
Okay, so I guess for a night's work, like that equivalently, like at least today, would be roughly around $4,500. Making $4,000 a night, not bad, but I mean that's not really sustainable.
安っ！マジかよ。こんだけ頑張ってそれだけか。
That's still significant.
なあ、他に買い取ってくれるやつはいないのか？
Yeah, but they're hot. Hot items have to be sold for less because there's a lot of costs in getting them to actually sell.
そりゃ店に普通に持ち込めば多分倍近い値段になる。けどパクったもんだからな。こんなもん買い取ってくれる心当たりなんて他にねえよ。
だろうな。
そうは言っても1日。つうか、数時間で10万円以上の稼ぎだぞ。
まあな。
And he's right.
やばいよな。アストラル能力って。俺も欲しかったわ。
ぜひともくれてやりたいね、こんなもん。これのせいで人生最悪だ。
Interesting. So it ruined his life.
はあ。アストラル使いっていじめられてた口か。
うるせえ！んなことはどうでもいいんだよ。それより早く連絡入れて買い取りに来させろ。
Touchy subject.
そんな怒んなよ。いいじゃん。そのおかげで今はこうして儲けられてるんだからよ。
Oh, but they aren't yours. You stole them. Hello. Wait. Oh, it's cool, like, 'cause he tells you the music in the corner. That's really neat. Dang, I gotta say, design of this visual novel so far is fantastic. Just like, the visuals and the audio have been great so far. A lot of visual novels will do that, but like, having the bar in the corner, having the track names appearing in the top left corner, it's so friendly to a consumer. I don't know if I've ever seen a visual novel that actually does it to this level and degree. It's a lot of, like, care and, like, I would call it, like, careful building went into this visual novel, which I appreciate a lot. Now, oftentimes we cover a lot of visual novels that are made on much stricter budgets, but this one looks like it was on a greater budget, which is interesting to me because I was drawn to this title because it's one I haven't seen a whole lot of people talking about. But it looks like it's definitely on a really high tier of quality, so I wonder why that is. Because the reviews that were on it were all fantastic, but still not nearly as many reviews as I would have expected so far from a publication of this magnitude. So I'm really interested to see why that is. Hopefully I can get the word out there if any of you haven't actually, like, read this visual novel before.
誰だ？
隠れてないで出てこい！くそ！どこだ？今の声のやつ、一体どこに？
What are you looking around for, pal? I'm right in front of you.
ふざけてんのか！
いや待て！そこだ。 そこ景色が揺らいでる。
There you are.
本当だ。なんだこれ、どうなってる。
まさか光学迷彩、お前もアストラル使いか。
I guess you could say I am.
本当に声が。マジかよ。
They stood stock still, wide-eyed and unable to look away.
つうか、何なんだよお前は。
まさか警察か。
Not quite. Just a regular guy who happened to be passing by? Something like that, basically.
通りすがりだ。バカにしてんのか。
偶然このタイミングでたまたまこの倉庫に迷い込んだってのか。ふざけんな。
Fair. I mean, I came to stop you. Easy there, pal. All I'm gonna do is give you a piece of advice, that's all.
あ
Vehicle theft via astral ability is a crime. You know that, right? So my advice? Stop adding to your criminal record. Turn yourselves in now and you'll get a much lighter sentence. They looked over at each other, communicating something non-verbally. Then they looked back at me.
ほんといきなり何なのお前。
Call me a good Samaritan.
ごちゃごちゃうるさいな。
Now they're trying to act mean and tough. Funny. Kinda thought so earlier, but these guys are probably just bottom-line grunts. Experienced criminals know not to engage in pointless chatter. They'll just pull out their guns and shoot. Yeah, because it's like, I'm probably just like distracting them.
俺たちの話を聞いてただで済むと思うなよ。
ここで見たこと聞いたこと思い出したくなくしてやんよ。
Oh, dear me. Was that a pipe he just grabbed? The non-astral one brings out the metal bat from a truck and hits it against the concrete floor to intimidate me. Just another day on the job. I can see what's just pulling up my sleeves like, all right, let's do this. I mean, I gave them the option of surrendering peacefully. Then again, it makes perfect sense they wouldn't listen to some random kid. Realizing that a fight is inevitable at this point, I raise my fist and face the guy with the bat.
隠れてるつもりかもしれんが場所くらいはわかるっての。
The very next second, he swings the bat down hard without a hint of hesitation. I calmly bend backward and avoid the blow. After that, I decide to taunt him a bit. Watch where you're swinging, man. That's dangerous. Right after it passes me, I flip upright again and slam my fist into the man's solar plexus. Ooh, man, I'm limber, apparently. That one hit was enough. The bat drops from the man's hand as he falls to the ground.
この野郎。
The metal bat floats up from his shout and after reaching a certain height, flies straight toward me. So he's gonna fight me using his ability, huh? Nice, bring it on! I twist my body, dodging the attack, then close the distance between us in a matter of milliseconds.
近づくな。
I feel a heavy force begin to assault me from all directions. Ugh! The air pressure is so strong it feels like my bones are about to snap.
このまま潰してやるぜ。
This is the kind of power he used to lift those scooters. It's enough to force to crush any normal person. But I'm not a normal person. Activate my own astral ability to provide an opposing force. Now freed from the deadly pressure, I leap forward in the blink of an eye and in front of the guy.
なんで倒れない。まさか能力が効いてないのか。
So I wonder, do we have multiple abilities, or is this something where, like, or one of, like, maybe the cloaking is more from, like, the gear we're wearing? That could be good. This is reminding me a lot of the story of the Reckoners. While he stands there in disbelief, I slam my fist into his solar plexus, much like I did to his friend. Ow. Yeah, solar plexus hits are not great. I was in lacrosse at one time, and I remember I was on defender, so I was trying to help protect the goal, and we had a striker coming up, and he was getting ready to fire a shot. I leapt in front of him to try and, like, I was just trying to stop him from having at least a clear line of sight, but he ended up throwing anyway with a really fast pitch and hit me right in the solar plexus, and, like, it was the only time in my life where I've literally had the whole, like, you see stars, like, my vision went black and red, and I saw, like, flashes of light, and, like, I just staggered and gasped for breath because it just pounded me. The balls are just solid rubber, and so having it being thrown really hard and hitting straight, like, right in the plexus, it was like, it feels like you're being hit by a car, because, like, it kind of blasts everything out of your lungs and kind of, like, makes you stagger backward. So, like, especially if he's, like, augmenting himself somehow with some kind of, like, strength enhancement, like, he's probably hospitalized. Unable to withstand the hit, he falls to his knees, coughing profusely as he holds his stomach.
くそ、痛みで集中できねえ。
Sounds like that's a good way to take down an Astral.
なんなんだよお前。俺たちに の恨みが。
I'm impressed you could talk. I think I took like a good 10 seconds to catch my breath before I could form words. Don't make me out to be some criminal. That's you. Well, I guess I am trespassing right now, but that's not important.
本当に何が目的で。
Didn't you hear me earlier? I said turn yourselves in. Stop doing this stuff. It's not right, especially considering you're an Astral. There are some real bad guys out there who'd love getting Astrals to do their dirty work. Get involved with them and your life's over.
なんだそりゃ。自己紹介か。お前が一番厄介だよ、クソが。
I'll tell you something you might like to know. The guy buying those scooters off you, he works for a massive overseas crime organization. You and I are probably better know them as the Mafia. You ever heard of the rumors about their kidnapping Astrals?
はあ、そんなもんただの都市伝説だろうが。
Oh, I wish.
マフィアによる拉致事件はないってどっかの政治家も言ってただろ。
To use your brain, would any sane politician admit that something like that's going on? Hell no. They're still assessing your usefulness right now, but you can bet that they end up liking your ability, they're gonna make you join them. And they have people with brainwashing and hypnosis abilities, so you're gonna be doing their dirty work even if you scream and say no. That's horrifying. Can you actually imagine, if people had the ability to just flat out, instant brainwash you? I'm pretty sure that actually does happen, at least somewhat. Some kind of, that conditioning is a thing. I know that, suggestions are a thing. You can definitely, prime people to be more likely to do certain things, or you can give them gifts, bribe them and stuff. So that's a kind of brainwashing in a sense. But what if you could just do it with a snap of your fingers and boom, they don't even recall who they were. You make up a backstory for them, makes them loyal to you. That'd be horrifying.
漫画の読みすぎじゃねえの。
Dude, you just levitated a scooter. Why on earth is this off the table? Plus, even if they don't want you, that doesn't mean you get to roam free. I hear they also sell Astrals on the black market. Turn yourself in now while you still have time. It's in your best interest.
気安く言ってんじゃねえ。お前に何がわかる？
Sorry, but I'm gonna have to pass on hearing a sob story about how hard your life was. All Astrals know what it's like to be discriminated against. Not all of us turn to crime like you did. Your psychokinesis doesn't have to be used for evil. If you just try, I'm sure you can live a decent life with your abilities.
やっぱりお前、警察だろ。
I promise I'm not, though you're free not to believe me. Look, I'm a fellow Astral. Just quit the crime and live a clean life. You'll thank yourself later.
うるせえ
Yeah, we definitely did some damage. Right after I hear a breaking sound of multiple cars. Seconds later, a bunch of strong-looking men stormed the warehouse.
その場を動くな！警察だ！君たちには窃盗の容疑で逮捕状が出ている！
And this
お
is
とな
where
しくし
we
ろ！
vanish away.
アストラル使いであることも分かっている！能力を使うなよ！使えば公務執行妨害や傷害の罰則も加わるぞ！
ち、痛みで使えねえっての。
って、なんか予想以上におとなしいっすね。そうだな。どうしたんだ？怪我でもしているのか？
これは、そこのやつに。
ん？そこのやつ？どういうことだ？二人組じゃなかったのか？他にもまだ仲間がいるのか？
くそ、逃げやがったか。
どこだ？そのもう一人はどこにいる？それはどんなやつだ？
知るかよ。顔も見てない。見れなかった。声は男だったかな。
なんだそれは。ごまかすつもりか？
そうじゃねえ。なんかそういう透明になる能力を持ってるやつだ。どうせオタクら警察の仲間だろ。
透明になる能力？知ってるか？知らん。それに、そんなことはありえない。
Too valuable to be a cop.
どういうことだ？
捜査にアストラル能力を使うことは、逮捕時であろうとも認められていない。警察が能力を使えば違法だ。
じゃあ、マジで違うのか？なら何だったんだよ、あいつは。
詳しいことは署で聞こう。さあ、立ちなさい。
Interesting. The thieves were caught, the incident was thus resolved. But one mystery remained, regarding a certain invisible person spotted at the scene of the crime. You may be wondering what these astral abilities are. Allow me to explain. Alright, here we go. A little bit of expedition dump. Once upon a time, these powers existed only within the realm of science fiction. They were called a variety of different names. Magic, psychic powers, supernatural abilities, and so on. But at the end of the 20th century, one groundbreaking discovery changed everything. A new particle was discovered, an Astron. Astrons have the ability to link with the human brain and synchronize with our neural waves, which causes the Astron to generate a unique form of energy. Psychokinesis, pyrokinesis, telepathy, psychometry, clairvoyance, all things thought to be pseudoscience, now real. And even fantasy magic, like remote manipulation of water and wind, the creation of golems, and super strength. All these phenomena had been scientifically proven to be possible through the energy emitted by Astrons. Dang. I mean, a lot of bad things would happen if these were real, but don't you kind of wish it were real? Don't we all wish a little bit that magic was real? The physical forms of energy takes different... Okay, not physical, it's psychical. Psychical? The psychical form this energy takes differs from person to person, meaning that it is nigh impossible to find any two people with the same ability. Astral abilities. That's the term we've since adopted to refer to all of these strange powers. I have like a recurring dream of like a superpower. Like I've decided, you know, because I'm me and I can decide these things, that if I ever were to have a superpower, it would be this, because that's what I dream about. And it's so specific. Like a lot of people, it's very common to have a flying dream or something like that. But I have this recurring dream where I would be with people I didn't recognize, or friends, or just somebody. I'd be with a group of people and we'd be like exploring in these places. And I would remember that I would have to I would take my hand like this, like in my dream, and I would like kind of bring it down through the air, like slowly, like as if I was like trying to like push aside like a curtain or something, but just in like the empty air. And I would, as I was moving through, I would like focus my mind on a specific like location, like a place I wanted to go, and eventually my hand would meet like a resistance, like a spot in the air where I would just feel this pressure. I was almost like I was pushing against something, and then I'd have to like force my hand to move it whilst like concentrating. I even to the point where I'd have to grab my hand, my wrist like this, and I'd have to force it through. And as I did, it would open a portal to the place where I was imagining. And so like, it wasn't like, it was really interesting because the rules in the dream were that I couldn't just like dictate where when I could open a portal. Like sometimes I could open them really quickly. Other times I would have to search for a while and have to like move around, like fishing in the air for like these kind of like hook points, whatever they would be. And that like, it wasn't like, oh, there's a certain spot that I can consistently open a portal. No, like where I wanted to go somehow was connected with what I wanted to start it. It was just so specific and so like it came with all these sets of rules that I had to follow to make it happen, and just like the way I would go about it and the way I had to think about it. I have very, very vivid dreams, and so like the fact that this dream has like recurred multiple times and that it always worked the same way makes me think like if there were actual powers, this would be the one I would have, would be like that. And it also fits perfectly because I would love that, being able to like teleport places, and especially being able to bring people with me would be like the greatest thing ever. Anyway, enough about that, but I can't help but think about that kind of dream with this.
Riddle Joker.
So cute.
Satoru-kun. Satoru-kun ってば、Satoru-kun?
Opening my eyes was a grave mistake on my part. I didn't know, but apparently my curtains were open. It was terribly bright during morning hours in August, and I can already imagine how hot it'll be outside. Ugh, so bright.
ほら、起きた起きた。早くご飯を食べないと遅刻しちゃうよ。
Okay, this is the same girl. It's like, at first I was like, who is this? But no, it's the same girl. She's just wearing a different outfit. She's cute. Come on, summer break. Close the curtains. What a bit shut-eye.
仕方ないな。今日は補習でしょ？このままだと遅刻しちゃうよ。
Oh man, that sucks. You're right. There's school today for me.
わかったら起きる。いつまで寝てるつもり？
Could you answer for me during roll call?
補習受けるの、サトルくんだけでしょ？
Oh, ouch. We suck. This girl standing beside me is Arihara Nanami. She's my younger sister. Aww. As you can see, she's getting a little bit fed up with me. I don't want to wake up.
まだそんなことを言って。
Get a cup of water. I was up writing the mission report last night. Till morning, basically.
それは知ってるけど。でも、補習はどうするの？
Right.
私はいいけどね。補習サボって留年するのはサトルくんなわけだし。
Gosh, she's like me. This is how I approach it too. I was like, well, you can't skip if you want. There's all these terrible things are gonna happen to you.
妹のクラスメートの兄か。
Okay, fine.
一緒の教室で勉強するのも結構楽しそうだね。
Oh, you're so adorable. Yep.
でもこの調子だと来年も留年しちゃうかも。そしたら妹を先輩って呼ぶことになっちゃうね。
Oh no, you would love that. Uh-huh.
もし私が先輩になったらサトルくんに勉強を教えてあげるね。
Thanks.
どうする？私のこと先輩って呼ぶ？
That's not really the problem here. Not really. Getting held back would be really bad. An older brother in the same class as his younger sister, and if she ended up graduating before me on top of that, man, the public humiliation would be the least of my worries. Morning, Nanami.
おはよう。
Ohio.
補習行く気になった？
Yeah, gotta hold on to my dignity. What is it?
毎日妹に起こされる兄に威厳も何も。
I'll have you know, there are plenty of people who would dream to have this happen.
という正直な気持ちは妹は優しいので密かに心にしまっておいてあげる。
I wonder if she's an Astral too. Thanks, I guess.
じゃあご飯の準備してくるけど二度寝しないようにね。
After Nanami leaves, I stretch my limbs while sitting upright in bed. The pleasant sensation of my stiff muscles loosening is enough to wake me up. Time to get changed, I guess. These remedial classes aren't something mandated by the school, but rather a pure act of kindness by my teacher. Not only did I almost fail every subject, I'm barely scraping by in terms of tardiness and absences. I'd feel really bad if I skipped. So he was given a Hail Mary remedial class course.
この1と2の式を連立させて解けば X と Y の値が求められるというわけだ。理解できたか？
Just algebra. Yeah, I think so. I'm the only student here right now. It's basically like private lessons at this point, so he gets to explain very thoroughly and in depth. That's probably why I'm following along so well.
それじゃあこの問題の X と Y を求めてみろ。
Like, at the same time, being the only student would be a bit of a pain because you couldn't, like, you have to be on top of everything. But it's really nice that he's actually getting this. He's written a new set of equations on the blackboard. It's different from the example problem he did, but it's just similar enough for me to be able to solve it. I did the math and arrived at an answer without much trouble. Did I get it wrong?
いや、合ってる。
Ah, yes. Okay.
この問題をこうもあっさり解くとはな。
Well, I just followed what you did in your example.
だがそのままじゃ解けない。ほんの少しとはいえ応用が必要になる。そういう問題なんだがな。なあ、有原。
Yes, sir.
普段の授業をまともに聞いてないだろう。今のが解けるのなら理解力は問題ない。これなら授業をちゃんと聞いてるだけでもあんなギリギリの点数になるわけない。
Fetch, I think he's got me.
やればできる子の代表みたいなやつだな、お前は。
Oh gosh, you're making me blush, sir.
あのな。
I know. Sorry about that.
別に怒ってるわけじゃない。授業を聞いてもらえてないのは悲しいことだが、謝る必要はない。ただ、もったいないとは思う。少しやる気を出すだけですぐに結果を出せるだろうにな。
Boy, story of my life. I don't know about you, but that's exactly what all my teachers told me, and man, I wish I'd listened. I'm really not that special.
長い人生、いろんな道があるとは思う。だから、やる気を他に向けてるのなら、こんな小言を言うつもりはないが、有原は何に対してもやる気を見せていない。見ている限りでは、友達と遊びに行ったりしてるわけでもなさそうだしな。
But I mean, he's got like a job. Like, that's why.
だったらせめて、選択肢を広げるためにも、今は勉強をしてみるのもいいんじゃないか。
I also gotta admit, I like how this teacher is saying, like, hey, school's not everything. Like, well, why don't you just try? Like, he's not trying to say, like, you're gonna fail at life and everything you ever hoped you could be, you'll become like a useless sack of potatoes if you don't graduate from school. It's like, no, that's not the case.
有原は自分の将来をどう考えているんだ?
I don't know, honestly. I understand his concern as a teacher, really. I mean, I'm darn near close to having to repeat a year, yet I don't seem to care that much, if at all. In his eyes, it looks like I'm not serious about graduating. I mean, I am, but I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there, I guess. Ultimately, I dodged the question with a typical half-hearted, lackadaisical reply from me. I love that word, by the way. Good inclusion by the translator. Lackadaisical.
自分の将来に関することなのに、どうしてそうもやる気がないんだ?
I don't know, he's a kid. Kids don't get it. Like, none of us know what the heck we're doing in high school or college even. Like, okay, this is one of those things again. I had a thing in the beginning where it said everyone in this is over 18, but we know it's high school. We know. They just have to, like, appease the Steam curators.
とりあえず、進路希望調査票は真面目にな。適当に書いたら呼び出しを食らうぞ。
I'll try to think of something before then, sir.
ほんと適当だな、お前は。今日のところはそれでもいいが、自分の未来についてもっと考えた方がいいぞ。
Yes, sir. Future plans, huh? I have thought about those things, just can't tell my teacher. I'm currently hiding the fact that I'm an Astral. My classes are over now, and I'm strolling around town in the sweltering summer heat. It's also terribly humid. All I'm doing is walking, and I'm still sweating. Oh gosh. Why do her lips look so weird?
でもこれぐらい暑い方が日本の夏って感じがしない？私は好きだよ。
俺は苦手。汗で体もベトベトになるしさ。
I think I prefer heat and humidity than dry heat, and I definitely prefer heat and humidity to cold and humid.
じゃあ私とイチャイチャしてくっつくのも汗かいちゃうから嫌い？
バカ！俺がマリリンと一緒にいるのが嫌いなわけないだろ！
Oh gosh.
せいちゃん大好き！
でも夏のジメジメと日差しはマジで苦手だから、こんな時はアストラル能力が使えたら便利だなって思うよ。
なんでアストラル能力？
だってよ、アストラル能力ならなんとかできそうじゃん。冷たい風をシュバーって出したり、氷を作ったりとかさ、便利だろ。
確かに便利そうだけど、でもアストラル能力ってちょっと怖くない？不気味っていうか。
I wonder, like, so a lot of times it's always like, man, it'd be cool if we had powers, right? But like, if it were real, I wonder if it would actually be scarier than it is cool. Like, there'd be some cool, obviously, but like, maybe like the things that people could do, especially criminals, would be so far more terrible and more terrifying, like it might not make it worth it.
せいちゃんがアストラル使いになったりしたら、私。
マリリン。
それでもやっぱりせいちゃんのことが好き。せいちゃんがどんな姿になっても好きだよ。
Oh my gosh, get room!
大丈夫だよマリリン。俺はずっとマリリンのそばにいるから。
The couple then shares a passionate embrace. They seem to care little about the fact they're in a public space. Everyone just walks by, trying to ignore the two of them, me included. But the important thing to note is the conversation they had. Nobody was alarmed by it. Those are the general sentiments regarding astral abilities for the most part. It's been almost 2 decades since the initial discovery of the Astron particle. Scientific research on it continued as its potential broadened. The public developed certain expectations about what its power would bring. Following that, more and more research began to focus on its applications in daily life. And they've been relatively successful. I know a handful of new astral technologies that are already in the field testing phase. The most well-known example would probably be Astron-powered trains and cars. It may not be long before everything we use is powered by these mysterious particles. So they being able to harvest them, yeah, so I'm guessing that like the clothing he's wearing has some kind of astral-based phenomena ability tied to it. That being said, not everyone's capable of linking with Astrons. Astron technology is great and revolutionary. Astrals, on the other hand, are creepy and best avoided if possible. I guess it'd be true. I mean, it's like we like engines and electricity, but if people could like poke their finger into an electrical socket, build up a static charge, and then fire lightning bolts out of their fingers, we would find that a little creepy and weird. Those are the general sentiments among the public. The phobia isn't as bad as in certain other countries where religion and superstition still have a tight grip on society, but you'll find plenty of people in Japan who think Astrals are dangerous mutants. Fortunately, the population of Astrals is rapidly increasing. It's said to have already reached near the same percentage of the population of those who are left-handed as those who have AB blood type. Pretty small percentage still, but definitely like one in a class kind of a thing. Like one out of 30 maybe? However, it's difficult to accurately assess the number of Astrals across the world. Many of them hide their identity due to the discriminatory beliefs about Astrals that's still held by society at large. You also have some who decide to rebel, such as our scooter-stealing friend from earlier, but they remain a tiny number. Astral crime is very much a thing, though it isn't to say there's a significant percentage of the crime rate. It's relatively low, quite honestly. Most Astrals strive to fit in and find their place among society, and society tries the best they can to accept them. Also, it's kind of like, it's a natural talent that is probably easily marketable. Like, being able to lift stuff with your mind, like, there's definitely some practical applications for it. I feel like if he really wanted to, he could find a job, but there's something that was holding him back. A lot of times people who get involved in the underground crime rings often are people who are kind of staring true poverty, homelessness, and just no other way out, or perceived no other way out. And someone who has astral abilities is not likely to be in that position just because of the nature of their abilities. As a quick example, usage of one Astral's abilities is illegal, but similar to guns and other weaponry, you can apply for a license with the government and get permission to use your powers under certain circumstances. Some Astrals work for construction companies, replacing their heavy machinery, for example. There are various advantages to using Astrals over machines, so they're valued highly in those lines of work. But that's about as far as it goes. Normal people hardly ever encounter astral abilities in their day-to-day lives, which makes it difficult to change those preconceived notions they have about Astrals. Well, I talk like none of this concerns me, but I'm technically also someone who strayed from what society might consider the right path. So I don't have much to judge from others considering that.
Ah, Satoru-kun.
Hey, sis. Nanami. Oh, hey. What are you doing out?
夕飯のお買い物。Satoru-kun はちゃんと補習受けた？
You could just see the disappointment in her eyes. Yes, I did. Thank you for waking me up.
よろしい。じゃあご褒美に今晩はSatoru-kunの食べたいものを作ってあげるね。
Personally, I would say curry, but it's summer, so I don't know, maybe something cooler. Lately, I've been doing a lot of, I've been making my own soba, and that's been fantastically delicious. Anything's good by me.
そういうのが一番困るんですけど。
It's true. I hate it when I go on a date and I'm like, hey, where do you want to go? And they're like, I don't know. It's like, please? Especially when you do something like, where they're like, I don't know, you pick something. I'm like, all right, I'll go with this. And they're like, really? It's like, well, then you pick. Well, everything you make is delicious. You're like a world-class chef in my eyes.
相変わらず適当だな、この人。
I'm not lying, I promise. Seriously grateful for you, Nanami. Without you, I'd probably starve.
どういたしまして。で、何を食べたいの？
I guess chicken nanban, if that's fine by you.
甘酢？タルタル？
Ooh, sweet vinegar sounds good. Both of you don't mind.
了解。補習はどうだった？まさか出席しておいているよね。なんてことはないよね。
I'm sure. Yeah, my teacher even complimented me. He said I had potential.
それって完全に皮肉なのでは？
It actually wasn't, thank you. Come on, don't kill my motivation.
普段からちゃんと勉強すればいいのに。そういうことしてると逆に悪目立ちするよ。
Well, yeah, but it's not like I'm almost flunking on purpose. I just have greater priorities, namely work. But yeah, she might have a point. I might actually be wasting time if I end up having to take remedial class. It's inherently self-defeating.
このままだとお父さんにも怒られそうだね。
Ah. Please don't tell him. I tug on her sleeve as I bow my head imploringly.
兄の威厳って何なんだろうね。
Oh, it's alive and well. It takes a dignified man to be able to lower his head and ask his younger sister for a favor.
むしろ余裕がないから頭を下げてるような。まあいいんだけど。
Ouch.
別に告げ口するつもりはないけど、いくらなんでも留年したらごまかしきれないよ。
I know. I promise it won't happen. I start taking things more seriously tomorrow.
こういうのなんて言うんだっけ？本気出す出す詐欺？
Oi, don't call me out on that just because it's true. What? No, I really will.
もういいよ。
Come on, let me finish. I realize I'm in deep trouble. I really do. I mean, what if work gets in the way of my remedial classes? If that happens, I'm seriously gonna get held back with my grades being what they are. I'm really gonna buckle down and start trying. Heck, my teacher even said it. I have it in me. I just need to try.
やればできる子ね。
Ah.
朝は妹に起こしてもらって、家事も妹任せで、勉強もサボって成績も悪い。
Oh, right to the heart. Man, that guy seems like a hopeless case. I'd hate to be him. Fine. I'm sorry. I was just trying to be funny. Don't give me that look. I won't deny that I'm lazy, but I promise you I know I need to change. I'll start studying and take school seriously. Tomorrow, I swear. Just trust your big brother on this, okay?
本当に適当だな。わかった。じゃあ兄のやる気が失せないように、妹が美味しいチキン南蛮を作ってあげるね。
What an awesome sister. Oh, thank you. Are you still shopping? I'll tag along and carry the bags for you.
ありがとう。
We then walk off together towards the supermarket. But only after a few seconds, Nanami suddenly stops.
ちょっと待って。着信が。
Who's calling?
お仕事だって。
Right.
ターゲットはこの人。違法薬物の運び屋。薬物をキロ単位で密輸してる。
Dang.
税関でいくら調べても薬物は発見できず。間違いなくアストラル能力が使われてる。
Right, so he's probably got some kind of hallucinatory or like audio-visuatory. Whatever his ability is, we know he has the power to fool the nose of drug dogs. So that leaves us with a few possibilities. We're probably dealing with some sort of concealment ability.
バックについている組織はなし。どこにも所属せず、依頼があればどことでも取引してる。
I mean, a drug dealer that can literally just avoid detection and can move product effectively, like, could make a lot of money for themselves on their own.
ただし、相手は大口の卸だけ。自分で裁くことはしてないみたい。
That's actually a lot smarter, too.
暴力団との取引場所に一度は警察が踏み込んだんだけど、相手の能力で逃げられてる。
Yeah, I mean, everything's lining up with this guy actually being kind of smart. Okay, so we know his ability can be used on himself. Cool. There are certain astral abilities that could see through his concealment, if it's by no means foolproof. You might be wondering why the police wouldn't simply deploy an astral with one such ability, but the problem is there also exist abilities which allow one to forge evidence. This is why courts don't recognize evidence obtained through astral abilities, and also why the police forbid their officers from using abilities while on the job. Organizations such as ours sprung up to fill that void. We operate in the shadows, out of the public eye. We're not crusaders of justice or anything, we simply do what we do because it's our job. Someone has to.
警察が踏み込んでくるのに合わせて目標を無力化。その後は警察に任せて即座に撤収。
So we're kind of like secret police. I kind of get it, and I kind of see the need for it.
アストラル能力で証拠を隠匿されないように。だって。
Copy that, Levy 6. I'm heading in.
気をつけてね、サトルくん。
I will. The next second, I dash through the darkness in the night toward the target location.
Riddle Joker.
This is Levy 6 reporting back from the mission.
レビー9、同じく帰還しました。
おう、ご苦労さん。
An older man with a shaggy hair lightly raises his hand to greet us. He's our boss and also the head of this organization. We're the SFD, the Intelligence Agency Special Force Division. We neither have the right to arrest nor investigative power. Simply, the need arises, we exchange in extra-legal public security operations. This undisclosed secret service group was founded with the sole purpose of taking on criminal cases that involve astral abilities. Due to the nature of our work, there's only a small handful of individuals who know we exist, even among politicians and other government officials. Consider the fact that I'm somewhat of a social outcast. I suppose it's no surprise I work for this organization. Like, I don't have friends. I was the perfect candidate. So, student by day, secret agent by night. This is the double life I lead. And you never sleep. Here's a written report on everything.
怪我は今回は取引相手の暴力団もいたんだろ
No injuries to speak of. I took them out before they could even notice me.
そいつは結構
Oh, but there is something I want to mention.
なんだどうした
Wearing long sleeves during summer is hell. Can you please give us a short sleeve uniform to wear?
よしわかった任せておけ俺が定年退職するまでには何とかしてやる
Oh, nice. So 50 years or so? Go figure. I knew he'd respond like that. Aww. SFD uniforms are made using a very pricey kind of fabric. I'm not very well informed on the specifics given my position, but I've heard the per gram price is several times that of gold. And there's a very good reason for this. The fabric is equipped with an advanced form of astral technology, which took decades to research and produce. Earlier, I demonstrated my ability to camouflage myself with my surroundings. It was my uniform, not my own astral power, that allowed me to do that. Alright, that's what I thought. Though it would probably be more apt to credit the specific fabric. The material is called memory fiber. It can store different astral abilities via an absorption of astrons. Dang, that's pretty freaking cool. Hence why I'm able to use an astral ability camouflage that isn't my own. You won't find this fabric in any stores, however, due to the fears of it being used by criminals. Yeah, keep that stuff locked up. It's no surprise it sells for such a high price, and unfortunately, the SFD has a rather limited budget, so they can't just purchase this stuff whenever.
その件に関しては申し訳ないと思ってるんだぞ他の連中からも要望が出ているしな今すぐには無理でもちゃんと予算を確保するから長い目で待ってくれ
I mean, we have a suit that can turn invisible. I know it's not comfortable, but come on.
で話を戻すが
He quickly scans over the multi-page report I handed him.
どうだったここに書かれていないことで報告すべきことはあるか
No, the mission went smoothly from start to finish.
細かい部分は後で目を通すが報告書にも問題はなさそうだ改めてご苦労だったなレビー6レビー9悪かったな今回は急な任務を差し込んじまって
Ah, it's so good. Oh, it's fine. We're used to it.
嫌味のつもりかレビー6そういう態度は良くないぞなんだ反抗期かそれとも便秘か痔か恥ずかしがってないでちゃんと病院行けよ
Constipated hemorrhoids? Oh man. I could really do without your delirious assumptions. I have a well-balanced 3-meal per day diet courtesy of Nanami, so wealth problems are the least of my concerns. I wasn't being sarcastic, okay? I was just stating the truth.
確かに余裕を持った任務の連絡なんてめったにないね
なんだレビー9まで嫌味かお前まで遅れてきた反抗期か二人してそんな態度を取るなんて
I don't know, maybe say, I'll do better next time?
父さんは悲しいぞ
This man is Arihara Rionsuka. Okay, Rionosuka. I am sure I'm not saying that right. I'm trying. It's a lot of vowels. Rionosuka, the chief of the SFD. While he is our boss, he's also mine and Nanami's foster father. We do work for his organization, but that isn't to say he's pushed us into it. Both she and I work here because we want to. I feel nothing but gratitude for my father and everything he's done for me.
息子と娘の成長を実感できたことは素直に嬉しいがな。これが反抗期か。ついにこれを経験する時が来たか。
I know I should be appreciative that he loves us, but there are reasons why it can be hard. He can be a little too affectionate at times. It can be really annoying.
反抗期なんて大げさなそんなんじゃないよ
そうなのかなんだ残念だやはり親としては一度反抗期を経験しときたいもんなんだがな
そんなに残念なら体験してみる反抗期っぽく振る舞ってみようか
ななみ
ほう面白いぜひやってみてもらおうかななみの反抗期とやらを
Okay, calm down, calm down.
うわ、うっざ。
あれもう入ってるのか？
あのさ、今日から脱いだ服はどっか別の場所に置いといてくれない？
え、なんで？
そんなの臭いからに決まってるじゃん。一緒に洗濯しないから、絶対に。
Oh man.
あとお風呂に入ったら、洗ってお湯を張り直しといて。お父さんの残り湯とかありえないから。マジありえないから。何置いてるかわからないし。
There's an audience for this right now. I can tell you that. I'm not sure it's me, but I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh!
すまん。俺が悪かった。体験版反抗期はもう終了。
あ、そう？もうちょっとバリエーションがあったんだけど。
She's good.
遠慮しなくてもいいよ。
ありがとう、ななみちゃん。いい体験をしたよ。十分だ。反抗期は体験版だけで満足だ。
Did it awaken something?
どうか素直なななみちゃんのままでいて。
He pleads tearfully. Can we leave now since we're done giving you the mission report, or is there more?
いや、待った。すまん。おふざけはここまでだ。次の任務を伝えておきたい。
Oh boy. Already?
それって、今から？
まさか。いくらなんでもそんなことはさせるわけないだろう。
Oh, that's a relief.
次の任務は水際作戦じゃないんだ。夏休みが明けてからの任務になる。
Aren't we already in summer break? Really? That's strange. You gave us a mission this far in advance?
その分ちょっと厄介でな。長期にわたるハードな任務になる可能性がある。
Oh. That long?
本当に珍しいね。
The SFD is a crime-fighting organization that specializes in astral crime, but since we have no authority to arrest, most of the cleanup is left to the police. Our work mainly consists of eliminating criminals or preventing crime before they happen. Once a mission begins for us, it usually wraps up within a couple days. That being said, we do sometimes do prior research on cases before taking any action. But again, we have no investigatory power, so if you're on one of those missions, you have to act covertly over a long period of time. Nanami and I have school during the daytime, though, which severely limits our ability to do that, hence why we've never been assigned to one of those missions. Until now, apparently. So what kind of crime are we looking at here?
偽札だ。
Whoa, really? That's pretty serious.
でも、そんなニュースは見てないよ。偽札が見つかったら報道されないはずないと思うけど。
それなんだが、ちょっと面倒なことになっていてな。
Just a bit.
ほら、この前捕まえたバイクの窃盗の犯人がいただろ。あいつらの財布から偽札が見つかった。だがこれを偽札と言っていいものか。なんせ普通の紙に1万円って書かれてるだけで、誰が見ても本物には見えないからな。
It's another astral like illusionist, somebody who like makes it look like real money.
だがあの犯人たちはその落書きされた紙を本物だと言い張っている。
Dang.
それってつまり犯人たちには本物に見えてるの？
Yeah, it's gotta be an astral ability tricking them into thinking it's real.
国際的な信用にも関わる。下手すれば国家の転覆につながりかねない事件だ。犯人は必ず見つけ出さなくてはならない。上からも強く言われている。
Alright. And you're entrusting us with such an important task?
詳しい説明をする前に、まずは見てほしい映像がある。話はそれからだ。
Interesting. So we're searching for suspects in a money forgery scheme, and furthermore, could potentially take months. I have a feeling this mission is going to turn out to be quite atypical compared to normal SFD work. I focus my eyes on a television screen, curious as to what I'll see, but my expectations are swiftly turned upside down.
皆さんは鷲津研究都市をご存知でしょうか？
Okay.
鷲津市東部に位置するアストラルの最先端の研究を行うために開発されたとっても若い町です。そんな研究都市の中にあるのがここ筆科学院。全寮制の共学の学院で一般家庭だけではなくアストラルに関する教育と研究も行われています。
Right.
とはいえアストラル能力を持たない学生も 一緒にアストラルについて学ぶことも可能です。
Ah, that actually could be a good way to try and break down those barriers of like the prejudice and fear.
基礎学力だけでなく、アストラル研究に携わることで次世代を担う人間を育てる。それが吉科学院です。そんな吉科学院の学生が普段どのような生活を送っているのか見ていきましょう。
Okay.
学生の一日は7時から始まります。身支度を整えて食堂で朝食。その後はもちろん授業ですね。ではここで吉科学院の施設についてご紹介したいと思います。まず併設されているこちらの建物ではアストラルに関する研究が行われています。
Okay. So it's like, it's a really prestigious looking academy.
またアストラル能力の研究のために屋内プールも設置してあり、冬でもプールを使うことができます。
Makes sense.
他にも快適な寮生活を過ごすための設備が完備されています。大きなお風呂などはまさに寮ならではでしょう。
That does look pretty nice. Interesting. I've never used a communal bath at all.
歴史の長くない吉科学院を作っていくのは皆さんです。皆さんと一緒に未来を作っていくことを学生一同待っています。ぜひ協力してくださいね。ご視聴ありがとうございました。それでは最後はこの歌でお別れとなります。
Oh. What have I got myself into? Oh, that was amazing.
ぜひ協力してくださいね。
Oh my gosh. Alright, so I kind of knew it's romantic comedy, but oh my gosh, there were several slides in that were like, oh, okay. Yeah, that'll be fun. I think this is a perfect place for us to end the first episode. What a great way, like, it's like the perfect length for our first coverage. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'd love to know what you think of this so far. If this is your first experience with this visual novel in your experience, like, what did you think? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Do you think it's going to be super cliche? Do you think it's going to be well told? I don't know. I've seen a lot of positives here, but I'm also seeing a lot of potential cliche. So I don't know. Cliche can be like, it can be like too predictable, which can really kind of impact a story. But at the same time, there's also a nostalgia to a lot of it, which is why like a lot of the tropes are still tropes, is because there's like something about it that is comforting. So I don't think I'm against it per se, as long as it's, I hope that it's executed intently and cleverly. You know, instead of trying to tick boxes off, it's more about like, hey, how can we tell an interesting story with these dynamic characters in a setting that's familiar? So yeah, it should be really interesting. But hey, so looks like we're gonna be going to this school, and yeah, looks like a lot of exciting stuff's gonna be going down. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much, especially to the patrons. You guys were awesome. Thank you for helping me select this game. This will be our new Friday slot for the foreseeable future. I hope you guys enjoy it, and hopefully, yeah, hopefully a lot of you, a lot of the others of you out there are also enjoying it. Thank you to anyone who's watching this, of course. So, like, anything you do, like liking and commenting, like, they make a big difference for me, for the channel, helps me with the algorithm. So it's a big help. So if you choose to do so, I hope to be able to converse with you. I try and reply to every comment. Sometimes I take a while to get to it, but I usually answer everything. So if you ever want to like ask my opinion or share a thought, I usually will respond to it personally. So I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about that. But yeah, overall, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you found this interesting and you're not really interested in waiting for next week's episode, they'll come out every Friday. There's plenty of great backlog. I've got a lot of great content I've covered. Some mainstream titles I've covered are like Muv-Luv and Steins Gate. Some smaller titles I highly recommend are things like Seabed and Mamiya. Like really stand out, fantastic stories that are definitely something that a lot of people I've talked to who play visual novels don't come in contact with. So I highly recommend you check those out. And you can go see about a little bit of my playthrough to see if it's something that's up your speed. Again, if you're interested in this game, you want to like kind of play it with me, I encourage you to check the link down in the description below. You can get on Steam. I think there's also like actual connection sites through, I think, Nekonyan, where you can order it directly through them. Again, those links will be down in the description. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Thank you so much. And until the next video, watch with me, or hope you see me in next. I'll see you there.